muted myself. Shall I unmute myself? Good greetings before we're beginning. Now we're testing the sound. Am I able to unmute people? I'd like to be able to greet those who are here before we start. Let me keep speaking and we'll see if we can eliminate the echo. Is that because, should I have this muted here? Is my voice still coming through? I should be muted and have my sound off. Excuse me? This computer is muted. Oh, and I should have that off. Okay. And is the sound still coming through now? Are you able to tell? Vida is nodding. Vida, so happy to see you. Very nice to see you. Ayya Nimmala. I can only see a Buddha image there, but nice to see you. Anandabodhi Hermitage, greetings. Very good. Ayya Nimmala. So wonderful to see you. Is there any way I can make people big? Are you able to do that when I name people to highlight them? I'm speaking to our Dhammadharini tech support. Thank you very much, Dhammadharini tech support. So for everyone who's here, look out for Dhammadharini tech support. That's the beautiful image of the Shan Earth Witness Buddha that's sitting surrounded by roses with the rust color clay background. That's Dhammadharini tech support. And so if you're speaking this evening, then please identify yourself to our Dhammadharini tech support so they know who you are. And please bless them heartily and well. And so nice to see those at our Anandabodhi Hermitage. It looks like a new Bhikkhuni, Venerable Muditā is there. And I can't see, is that also Seminary Dhammawada and new Bhikkhuni Venerable Kachayana and Anagarika Panyavimuti. Jill Boone, Jill, it's nice to see you. Welcome. I see your smile. Is there any way like for me to highlight anybody or just checking in? Ayya Nimmala is identifying herself in the chat. So we have a couple of minutes now just to say hello to one another. Is it possible to unmute everybody? Who is host? Oh, Anandabodhi Hermitage. It seems like you have become host. Cameron, nice to see you there. Could you make us host? Ha 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 ha. Or at least co-host, yes.
No.
And I'm just going, Julie, nice to see you. Julie, everybody, is the new and current president of Saranaloka Foundation. Kelly, Esther, Ayya Santacitta, I can't see you yet, but I'm glad to, there. Oh, greetings, Thanissara, warm greetings to you with beautiful image of royal ease of Avalokiteshvara. Sati, Saraniya, Hermitage, glad to see you also. Quilly, welcome in. Quill, nice to, well, I can't see you yet, but nice to even see your name.
Oh.
I didn't know that. Like this? Oh, so nice to see everybody together. Ayya Sobana is much better with these things than I am, so she's letting me know how to work with it. So everybody who's on together right now, and you can see behind me here, we traveled from our Anandabodhi Hermitage earlier on today with the first really strong rain of the season coming down along the coast into our Dhammadharini monastery at the foot of Sonoma Mountain in Pengrove. which is where I am now, sitting in the meditation hall of Dhammadharini Monastery. And behind me on this side is our Dhammadharini Vice Abbess and teacher, Venerable Bikuni Theri, Ayya Sopana. And on this side we have Venerable Bikuni Ayya Santacitta Mahātherī, and then next to her, new Bhikkhuni, Venerable Bikuni Thanissara, from the founder of Therīs cloister in Germany. So one of our new Bhikkhunis, our new crop of Bhikkhunis. Thanissara, welcome. I see you showing up now. Glad to see you. Warm greetings to everyone. We're going to be going and starting our program soon. Just a couple of minutes. Just to let everybody know that recording has already started early, thanks to our tech support. Ayya Santacitta, nice to see you. Good early morning in Vienna.
Morning. You know, Ayya, you said you would like to make me co-host so that I can play that video. Has that happened?
Yes, I would. You are co-host already. I've heard from the words of our higher power this evening is tech support.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. It's 5 o'clock here, so I'm a little bit out of my usual schedule when I have a Zoom, but
yes, yes.
That's fine.
Well, we're coming up on 1 minute beforehand now. It looks like Ayya Anandabodhi is here too. And so we're just going to switch over to our title screen for just a minute, and then we'll be beginning our program. So
Hello, Anandabodhi.
Hello, Ayya Santacitta. I can't see you, but it's nice to hear you.
Yeah.
It's early in Austria now.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock.
Oops.
So good evening and warm welcome to everyone, or good morning to those who are in Austria or other parts of the world, like Ayya Santacitta. I'm Ayya Tathaloka, and we're here at Dhammadharini Monastery at the western foot of Sonoma Mountain in the western Sonoma Valley in Pengrove. And I'm here with the monastics at Dhammadharini Monastery. On my right hand here, Venerable Bikuni Theri, Ayya Sopana, our Dhammadharini Vice Abbess and teacher. And on my left hand here, Venerable Bhikkhuni Santacitta Mahātherī, who they've both been observing the Vasa here. It's the final days of this Vasa this year. And then further on the side here, then we have Venerable Bikuni Therīs, newly ordained around the September full moon at our Anandabodhi Hermitage. We came together today from Anandabodhi in our first big rain of the season. which is a great, great relief. And I feel it's so auspicious to have the first rain and the beginnings of the end of our California fire season on this special day today. So in 2011, on October 17th, several of those of us here then gathered together at Spirit Rock Meditation Center for the full Bhikkhunī ordination of Ayya Anandabodhi, Ayya Santacitta, and Ayya Nimmala. And, I remember at that time then there were so many people who were really wishing to see bhikkhunis and more bhikkhunis, more than just a couple of bhikkhunis. And Ayya Anandabodhi and Ayya Santacitta and Ayya Nimmala responded to that call in the world as well as the call in their own hearts to this path and the full living of the Bhikkhuni path in the Buddha's way. So now 10 years later, during those years, then I remember so many people saying they wanted not only to see more bhikkhunis, but they also really wished to see bhikkhuni teachers, bhikkhuni leaders, bhikkhunis having their own places, and really the restoration of the vision that we find in the early Buddhist teachings of the Bhikkhu-Bhikkhuni Mahāsangha, the fourfold Sangha or manifold Sangha of the Buddha. So I am so happy to have lived to see this day today, truly mudita. In South and Southeast Asian Theravada Buddhism, it's actually quite common when, like in Isan, where Ajahn Chah, Lungpo Cha came from, for monks, when they've come to be in monastic life for 10 years to have some kind of like a mudita program when they become an Ajahn. Of course, Ayya Anandabodhi and Ayya Santacitta were Ajahns in the Thai forest tradition already. They've been in monastic life for a longer time. So I feel like for today, this is a day of double Therihood. So as they were in monastic life for more than 10 years already, even at the time they became bhikkhunis. For me too, nearly 10 years in monastic life before Bhikkhunī ordination. And Ayya Nimmala also so delighted on that day 10 years ago that you and also your teacher and mentor, Ayya Medhanandi, were able to come and join us together at Spirit Rock and the day of your full ordination, and knowing about your path over the years as well. So I just want to say welcome to everyone who's here and briefly go over our plans for our program this evening, this Mudita and Welcome Therīs program to celebrate this 10-year anniversary and to give all of our blessings to Ayya Santacitta, Ayya Anandabodhi, Ayya Nimmala. We're going to be seeing a video of the ordination that some of you may have seen before, but now 10 years later with words from Ayya Santacitta. Then Bhante Rahula, one of our very senior bhikkhus of the Sri Lankan tradition in Northern California, who is a member of the ordaining Sangha, in fact, the senior most bhikkhu member of the ordaining bhikkhu Sangha at the Spirit Rock ordination 10 years ago, is planning to be with us together with Bhante Chandima from Bodhi Vihara to offer his blessings. And also we'll have a short video from Ayya Sudhamma, who served as one of the key officiating bhikkhunis, Kamawachacharinis, for the ordination. And then several speakers, Thanissara, welcome, Jill Boone, founding president of the Saranaloka Foundation, Ayya Medhanandi, Dhamma sister of Ayya Anandabodhi and Santacitta at Amravati, and also teacher of Ayya Nimmala, who was ordained together on October 17th, 2011 at Spirit Rock. Then perhaps, I'm not sure, blessings from our Bhantes at ABS Temple. I just want to recognize that Bhante Shantarakshita, who is also an ordaining member of the Bhikkhu Sangha, had planned to be with us today, but he's in hospital. So we want to send our blessings to him. He sent his to us, and I apologize, he's at UC Davis Hospital and not able to come on the video tonight. So all blessings to him for his health. Then we'll have some closing words and the Arahant Bhikkhunis chanting that everyone can join in together, and then some time for tea and greetings all together for everyone who'd like to stay and be able to have a chat together. So welcome everyone to this Muditā program, auspicious evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. Today, 10 years after the great Spirit Rock ordination on October 17th, 2011, now 2021. So welcome, Ayya Santacitta. We are looking forward to seeing you, and we ask our tech support to make it possible for you to share the video. And I understand you're going to be sharing with a few comments. So nice to see you. First, Bhikkhuni Vasa in Austria, and in your 10th year as a Bhikkhuni. Welcome.
Thank you, Ayya Tathaloka. Yes, I'm at the moment in Vienna for the Vasa, and I see there's also some friends of the group in Vienna today with us. They also got up very early, and it's so lovely to see everyone. Ayya Medhanandi, good morning. And
good morning.
It's lovely to see you. And Ayya Nimmala, I haven't seen you for a long time. And yeah, it's Julie, good morning, and Jill, good morning. Jill Boone is the founding board president, and Julie is the current board president of Saranaloka. And hello to board members, to Hitesis India, and to Lisa, who was board member. And hello to Thanissara also. Good morning. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming. And Susan Barber, I haven't seen you forever. It's lovely to see you. Okay, so I'm now going to play, it's actually not a real video, it's a slideshow made from photos made during our ordination. Can you see the screen with the video? Is that visible?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
Is it now visible?
No.
Still not yet.
Okay, maybe I have to do something about that. Okay, now.
Something's coming up now.
Yeah, thank you.
Aha.
Now I'm stopping, and the photos have been made by Ed Ritka, a friend of us, a photographer from San Francisco. And I also would like to thank, in particular, Jack Cornfield. It was actually Jack Cornfield's idea. He's the founder of Spirit Rock, to invite us to that the ordination may be held there. And Jack was a monk in the Ajahn Chah tradition for a few years, at the same time as Ajahn Sumedho. He later disrobed and studied psychology and was the co-founder of Insight Meditation Society near Boston. And then a few years later, he founded Spirit Rock near San Francisco. He is a very great supporter of us, and he also invited Ayya Anandabodhi and myself to teach retreats at Spirit Rock, and he helped us in so many ways. I want to recognize his great contribution for us too. That is the Spirit Rock Meditation Center in Woodacre, about 40 minutes from San Francisco. And this is Ed Ritker's little daughter, the photographer's daughter. And these are two supporters from Chithurst. I think they were looking after the finances, and they came for the ordination over to America. And the man with the white shirt, he has passed away since then. And on the right-hand side, the woman in the white shirt, this is Mindy Slotnick. She organized the whole ceremony for us, the meal, and she did all the invitations, and she did a lot of work behind the scene. And this is Ayya Anandabodhi and myself. We are still wearing the Siladhara robes we wore in Amaravati. This was dark brown robes. And the lady sitting on the chair, this is Ruth Dennison. She is a quite well-known Dharma teacher in America and originally from Germany, and she has also passed away a few years ago. And she was one of the first people who suggested for the Saranaloka Foundation to be founded, and she asked then Jill Boone to take that on, and Jill did that. That's the meditation hall at Spirit Rock. And this is Ralph Steele. He is an American Dharma teacher, the man in the dark suit. And Ayya Santussika's son, Venerable Gunawuto. This is Bhante Santarakshita, who is at the moment in the hospital in the UC Davis. And Ayya Medhanandi and Ayya Nimmala. The nun on the left-hand side with the yellow robes. This is Venerable Thubten Chodron. And then the nun with the black robe with the brown shoulder. This is Reverend Blanche Hartman. She was the abbess of San Francisco Zen Center. She has passed away meanwhile also. And this was the procession from down the hill up to the meditation hall. The monks and the nuns walked side by side, which is a very special thing that happened at that time. Usually the nuns always need to go behind the monks, and that was a very beautiful offering that the monks were happy to do that. On the right-hand side, you see Bhante Rahula, the most senior monk, who is going to help with some chanting today. He is from Bodhi Vihara in Santa Clara. And on the left-hand side, Ayya Tathaloka. Behind her, Ayya Sudina and the other nuns. And then I will see on the left-hand side, this is Trip. This is the Saranaloka bookkeeper since many, many years. This is Ayya Sobana, and behind Ayya Sobana is Reverend Blanche Hartman. And just want to mention shortly at this ordination what was very special. There were monks and nuns from all three schools of Buddhism, was because Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. And in the ordination group, inside the Sima were the Theravadas, and then around Mahayana and Vajrayana as well. It was very special, very beautiful. It's Reverend Blanche Hartman. And this is Tenzin Dolma. And the statue where they are bowing to, this is Mahapajapati Gautami, a statue from Redwood City Meditation Center on the peninsula. And somebody said it's made in the likeness of Ajahn Sundara, who is one of the senior nuns in the Siladhara order, and she lives currently at Amaravati, and she was senior nun for Ayya Anandabodhi and myself for many years. And this is Jack Cornfield with a microphone. Ayya Tathaloka. And then Ayya Anandabodhi was the first of the three of us who went through the ceremony. So on the left-hand side, you can see the monks who were confirming the ordination. You can see Ajahn Brahmali, next to Bhante Rahula, and then a Sri Lankan monk from England, who I forgot the name, and then Bhante Santarakshita, Bhante Amarabudhi, and then there was also Venerable Analeo. But there's a photo later on you can see probably. And then Bhikkhu Bodhi also had planned to come, but because of health reasons he couldn't come, but he sent us an audio recording. This is Bhante Amarabudhi from Santa Clara and Bhante Santarakshita. And on the left-hand side is Reverend Chin Hu, who is the abbot of the Mahayana monastery in Sunnyvale. This is Bhante Analeo sitting between Bhante Amarabudhi and Bhante Santarakshita. Ayya Sudhamma, who was one of the Acharinis, and before her is Ayya Sudina, who was also an Acharini for this ceremony. This is Bhante Analeo, who has done also a lot of work with, peeling out from the scriptures that it is completely doable for bhikkhunis to be ordained this day and age. And also Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi helped a lot, Ajahn Brahmali as well. There's been a lot of work done in that direction. And this is Thanissara. She's on the call today as well. She was one of the first 4 Siladhara who got ordained at Chithurst many years ago, and she's now Dhamma teacher since many years and lives in the Bay Area as well.
Ayya Santacitta,
Yes.
can I ask you to pause for just a moment, because our Bhantes from Bodhi Vihara are on and they'd like to share a blessing. And Bhante Chandima has a class this evening at 8:30 that he needs to go for. So they have just a couple of minutes right now. So I'm sorry to interrupt, and I want to allow them to have the chance to share their blessings.
Sure.
And so we'll just invite and welcome our Bhantes from Bodhi Vihara on to be able to share their blessings.
Should I stop the screen sharing for now?
Yes, for just a moment. We'll just greet and invite. I think we have here, it looks like we have Bhante Rahula with us. So greetings with Vandana to Bhante Rahula, and also to our Bhante Chandima. And another Bhante, I'm sorry, I can't see who the other Bhante is. Excuse me?
Thanissara.
Bhante.
Yes.
Yes, greetings and welcome to all of our most venerable Bhantes. Bhante Rahula was the senior-most chief bhikkhu for the Great Bhikkhunī Ordination at Spirit Rock in 2011. Now, 10 years later, he's moved to be here together in the Bay Area with us at Bodhi Vihara in Santa Clara. And so welcome, Bhantes. I know you have some words and blessings that you'd like to share. And I know that you have a class this evening, Bhante Chandima, so you have just a few moments now. So I'd like to invite and welcome you, and just so much appreciation for all of your support for our Bhikkhunī Sangha and the fourfold Sangha of the Buddha and our manifold Sangha in the Buddha Sasana. Niman Karala.
So, good evening, dear Bhikkhu Sangha and Bhikkhunī Sangha and dear devotees. On behalf of Bhante Rahula, who was the preceptor of all the nuns, and on behalf of my master, and on behalf of Thanissara and all the Mahāsangha, I would like to bring blessings for all the bhikkhunis who are becoming Therīs today. So you have come through a very long journey. It's not easy. We need a very strong dedication to reach that level, and at the same time, you have to develop the moral qualities. You have to sharpen your moral qualities to a great level. You have to develop your concentration to a great level, and you have to develop your wisdom to a great level. So throughout these years, they were sharpening these three qualities all the way. So since on this very special occasion of their life, we would like to wish Bhikkhunī Anandabodhi and Bhikkhunī Sobana, right?
Venerable Santacitta and Venerable Nimmala.
Oh yes, Venerable Santacitta and Venerable Nimmala, all of you, a very successful spiritual journey ahead. And at the same time, we wish that may you develop in the three practices more, and at the same time, finally, may all of you be able to come out of all the negativities and attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. On behalf of all the Mahāsangha of Buddha Vihara, and at the same time, on behalf of Mahāsangha in abbess temple, we bless all those three bhikkhunis wholeheartedly. Please
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodama.
please concentrate.
Sabitiyo vimanyantu sampado vinasvenu mami bhavan vankarayo sukhi dikayo bhavan bhavatu sambe mangalam rattantu sambe devata sambe putranu bhavena kadārutti bhavatu de bhavatu sambe mangalam rattantu sambe devata sambe nammalu bhavena sadātunti bhavantu te bhavatu sambe mangalam rattantu sambe devata sambe sangānu bhavena sadātunti bhavantu te Dhanasīlisve nityam vaddavadāyino ñattārū dhamma vaddanti āyurāno sukham balam āyurārogya sampatti sangha sampatti nīvate apurubbāne sampatti iminātni samijjatu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
May all of your Dhamma life, Dhamma practices be very successful. May you be able to come out of all the negativity, and may you be able to purify your mind and attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. Sukhi hotu. Sukhi hotu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. Thank you very much for joining us, Bhantes. We wish you long life, good health, happiness, and so much appreciate all of the support of our Bhantes for the resurrection of the Bhikkhunī Ordination and support for the highest aspirations, noble aspirations of all those who aspire to this path. Anumodami.
So I'm continuing now with the screen sharing with the video.
Yes, we've been very well blessed, and now you'll be able to recognize also some of those who are being pointed out here together, having just seen them live 10 years later, like the rest of us.
Yes. So this is where we stopped. This is Lisa Damatrovic. She was on the Saranaloka board at that time.
And
And,
Lisa's with us tonight.
yes, and in front of her is Bhikkhuni Satima, who has passed away last year as well. And that's at the end of the ceremony, the handing out of the gifts. And this is Maria Torres, who has also been very supportive in the beginning years. She has gone back to live in Brazil now. There's again Jack Cornfield and Michelle Latvala, who is the ED of Spirit Rock. And this is again Ruth Dennison, who urged Jill Boone to start with the Saranaloka Foundation. And there's Jill Boone, the founding board president of Saranaloka, who's also on the call tonight, this morning. Tonight, I don't know. Thanissara. And that's the group photo at the end. You can see the beautiful confluence of the schools. Zen with the black robes, and then with the yellow outer robes, the Vajrayana nuns and the Theravadas. Very beautiful, very auspicious gathering. And on the right-hand side, we can also see next to Ayya Satima is sitting down Ayya Gunasari, then Ayya Sudhamma and Ayya Sudinna, and Venerable Tupten Chodron, Reverend Blanche Hartman, Ayya Medhanandi, Ayya Tathaloka in the middle. And behind Ayya Tathaloka on the left-hand side is Ayya Palaniani from Germany. He is also on the call. Good morning. And Ayya Sobana. Behind her is Ayya Thanasanti, who has meanwhile put down the robes. And so many. Bhante Brahmali, I can see him. He's next to the black Buddha statue on the left side. And then you can see also on the left side of the photo, you can see Bhante Analeo. Ajahn Brahmali and Gil Fronsdale. And then I just want to say at the end, the chanting, the Arahant Bhikkhuni chant, the text comes from the Pali Canon, from the Anguttara Nikaya, and the voice is Mel Seki. She was a nun at Siladhara at Amaravati when Ayya Anandabodhi and I joined there. Her name was Sister Apasara, and she has this angel-like voice. And that's why we asked her to record the chanting for us. And great gratitude to her too. And thank you so much for watching and listening.
Thank you, Ayya Santacitta. That was wonderful to revisit. We all look so young. And 10 years later, then the people's wish to have more Bhikkhunī Theris is coming true for so many of us. So now one of the Bhikkhunis who we saw in the video, as Ayya Santacitta mentioned, one of the main Bhikkhuni officiants, examiners, and those who recite the Sangha Karma for the Sangha, that propose the candidates to the Sangha, the Kammawacha Charini, second Kammawacha Charini. The first was Ayya Sudina, who is now in South Carolina, and Ayya Sudhamma just before this program this evening then sent this video to us to share a few words of blessings. So now we'll call on tech support and see if we can see the video offering that Ayya Sudhamma has sent us from the Charlotte Buddhist Vihara in North Carolina, where she and Ayya Suvijana are observing the Vasa.
Occasion. I remember so well the incredible
Can you start
beauty
from the beginning?
of that day at Spirit Rock.
Thank you.
This 10-year anniversary is indeed an auspicious occasion. I remember so well the incredible beauty of that day at Spirit Rock. The joy in my heart as we ordained those 3 wonderful nuns as bhikkhunis. I had the honor of serving as Kammawacha Charini. I was in tears. And it's one of the most beautiful ordinations and one of the more beautiful moments I recall in my life. And so I just wanted to share this thought with you, share my anumodana, and wish you many more years of the holy life.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami. Thank you, Ayya Sudhamma, Venerable Bikuni Sudhamma Theri. She has offered so much to the resurrection or re-arising of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. She was the first American woman to go to be ordained in the first international Theravada Bhikkhuni ordination in Sri Lanka in 2003. So, what a milestone. And now we want to invite Thanissara, if she's here, to share a few words. I still remember so strongly in my heart Thanissara is sharing on that day after the ordination at Spirit Rock. And wow, in the 10 years since then, Thanissara, amazing, amazing for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, for the fourfold Sangha, for climate and for our whole world. Welcome. I'm glad that you could join us. We invite you to share some words and reflections.
Thank you so much, Ayya Tathaloka, and deep respects and greetings to the Bhikkhuni Sangha, to all the assembly gathered together to honor this auspicious occasion. I feel very moved to see that clip again and to revisit that really profound, heart-opening and historic day on the lands of the Miwok people of Spirit Rock, and to feel such an extraordinary blessing of that day, and then how that's come to fruition through this decade with such a sense of strength. There's such a sense of a strong foundation that already in 10 years it's been built upon which, for sure, the continuation of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, not only in these lands, in the Americas, but also further afield, around the world. And for me, that's so heartening and deeply satisfying, karmically, spiritually, emotionally, on every level. When I first, 42 years ago, this month, took the robes in the UK after being with Ajahn Chah in Thailand, and he sent me to be a nun. Actually, I have to say that I did spend some time with the Metis, and then came back to my home country, and the monastery there was starting. And so I joined up. But the lineage of nuns was completely invisible, really. And not in, we didn't really have any sense of any lineage in connection with elders or teachers. And I remember one day when I was very young and I really didn't even know the word gender. I know that sounds a bit strange, but I didn't think in those terms. I kind of thought we were all the same. But I do remember one day when it really struck home how deeply segregated really the history, this enormous history of invisibility of nuns in so many ways, that sitting there in the shrine room of the nuns' cottage and feeling this ancient wall behind which the bhikkhunis had disappeared, and it was heartbreaking, really. It really was heartbreaking, and it was very heavy. And I could never begin to imagine how that wall would crumble. And so now, of course, many bricks have been removed, a lot of light has come through, and that wall is dissolving. And we see the fruits of that in each of the bhikkhunis here, and each of the recent ordinations, and those that have broke ground, in Sri Lanka, when they had the very large ordination, and then those nuns, some of the very early nuns that I met in those very early years. Some of them would even be in prison for taking Bhikkhunī ordination. To see that, what this has been built on, this enormous courage that it's taken to break out and to break down those walls, but to do that with such grace, and to have endured what has been so many really difficult obstacles, and overcome them with the depth of the practice, is a great testament to each and every woman, nun, sister, bhikkhuni that has helped, and supported by all of the Sangha, the fourfold Sangha, bhikkhus and laymen, everyone that has supported this journey. I give, great respects and thanks to, and I'm with you so much in heart and spirit, and I'm so grateful for this invitation today. Thank you to everyone, and all blessings, dear sisters, in your journeys ahead. May there be no obstructions for you, and if there are, may those obstructions turn to great blessings for you and all beings.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Thanissara. Many blessings to you and to all your benevolent efforts on behalf of all beings. Now we'd like to welcome Jill Boone, the founding president of the Saranaloka Foundation, which she'll tell us more, I hope, about the role the Saranaloka Foundation played in Aloka Vihara coming into being. And I'd also like to recognize that Mary Dehart, the present president of the Saranaloka Foundation, is with us here this evening. And in our tea and greetings later on, we hope that we'll be able to see and hear her at that time as well. And now we want to invite Jill Boone, welcome. So nice to see you after a long time. I hope you're doing well during this pandemic time. I'm glad you're still with us. And thank you so much for the role, very important role that you have played. You really stepped up to the call. So we'd like to invite you to share a few words.
Well, many blessings to all of the Bhikkhunis here, and it's been lovely to kind of hear about the Bhikkhuni movement that came before, the monastic movement that came before this auspicious event that we're celebrating 10 years on. Saranaloka was really founded to basically empower, support, and empower the Siladhara of Amaravati. And I must say that I think it has achieved that over the years. The year before the Bhikkhunī ordination was really a fruitful, kind of challenging and exciting and adventuresome year. Ren Withers and Lisa Domitrovich and I were the board for Saranaloka. And while Mindy and her team were planning the ordination, we were adjusting Saranaloka so that it could continue to support these wonderful nuns that we had brought over from England, and who were just basically, charming everyone in the Bay Area with their teachings and their just presence. So we did things like, the bylaws, fixing the bylaws and communicating with everybody that had any questions and all that. And it just all led into this amazing, joyful Bhikkhunī ordination that was just celebrated worldwide. And watching today all of the different monks and nuns that were present there, they came from all traditions, as Santacitta said, and from all over to come and support this this amazing day and event. And I remember in Saranaloka that we got donations came in from all over the world, from South America and from Australia and from Asia. We had, donations coming into the organization from, people that we had never heard of, but who had heard of this and the fact that they were becoming Bhikkhunis. It was really felt that this was what was needed in order to be able to start the training monastery that they had hoped to start here there in California. I'm in Seattle now, but here in California when we did it. And I remember being very speechless at that day, and just my heart was just kind of cracked open, and I had a lot of trouble getting up to even say anything at that event because I was so overtaken and overwhelmed with just the event and how it was presented, how beautiful it was, the amazing part of the monks and nuns walking in together, and the sense that this was the beginning of something even greater than I had ever imagined. And so now here we are 10 years later, and we all definitely look a little bit older looking at that. Me especially, since I'm all gray now. But anyways, here we are all together again, which is pretty awesome. And thinking back on what's happened in those 10 years, it's amazing. And I just really want to share my wishes for 10 years of continued growth and personal enlightenment for everyone in Bhikkhunī Sangha, and all of the people here who are supporting them and have supported them, that we all continue on this path and grow and be well and be happy, and just continue to see amazing things grow out of this opportunity that started 10 years ago today. So thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. And Julie Dehart, the current president of Saranaloka Foundation, is here together with us on now. And I just want to recognize that this ordination and its coming together was really a great partnership of the Saranaloka Foundation, of Aloka Vihara, of Spirit Rock, and of the Dhammadharini Support Foundation and Dhammadharini Sangha, really amongst the key organizers. So I just want to appreciate everyone who is a part of that. And as as Ayya Santacitta, and also as Jill Boone was just saying, I mean, we had the monastic Sangha also coming from all around the world to join in from also all different traditions, with the Theravada Bhikkhu-Bhikkhuni Sangha at the core, and the three main traditions, also Mahayana and Vajrayana, they're present and witnessing together, and many of the great non-monastic teachers of our time in the West also there, present and supporting together. So what an awesome thing. And we have also, I think, Shirley Guak, Director Emeritus of Dhammadharini Support Foundation, on with us together, and to just appreciate all. I see that our Dhammadharini Support Foundation President, current President, Susie Srisakun Charanseri Clicks, is watching on the YouTube, but not on the Zoom. So just appreciation to everyone. And Julie, are you with us? Would you like to just say hello? And then we'll hear from you also later, just chatting and tea and greetings later on. Julie, yes, Julie Dehart. If you'd just like to say hi. Okay. We just want to see you and appreciate you. You can unmute her, or if you can unmute yourself.
Lovely to be here to celebrate this time together. And we have aged a little bit.
Yes. Greetings and blessings. Hopefully older and wiser, and all the better for the Dhamma. Nice to see you, and thank you for being here and for all that you're doing. And just to recognize for Aloka Vihara now, wow, big fire, mega fire, the Kaldor fire earlier on in the Vasa. And I think we'll hear from Ayya Anandabodhi later, but I'm just so amazed and appreciative at all the blessed forces that held the fire back, and also what their experience may be now at the monastery with these powerful forces and climate change. So thank you, Jill, founding president of Saranaloka Foundation, Julie Dehart, current president, all the members of Dhammadharini Support Foundation who are with us also on Zoom, and here also on the YouTube, and maybe on Facebook Live as well. And now we want to invite Ayya Medhanandi, who is with us from Sati, Saraniya Hermitage on the East Coast, in the other Perth, Ontario, together with another one of our bhikkhunis who's ordained more recently here at Dhammadharini Monastery a couple of years ago, Venerable Bikuni Ayya Anuruddha. Nice to, I think I can see you there. It's a little bit late there now, probably about midnight, coming up on midnight in Ontario. And welcome, Ayya Ji. So nice to see you. One of the sisters from Amravati who have become our refounding and resurrected Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International and in the West. So welcome, dear Venerable Ayya. We would love to hear from you. Please share a few words with us.
Thank you, Ayya Ji. And it's such a great honor to participate from far away, but we feel really surrounded by all of you. There are very few of us here in Canada, so we watch with delight and amazement at how the Bhikkhuni Sangha has grown, and all of you that have helped and continue to help and support and make this possible. It's such a delight to meet you and see you here tonight and hear about you and receive and share these blessings from the bhikkhus that have joined in, and all of you that have been aging as the Bhikkhuni Sangha grows up. It's like mothering the most precious plant. And I was reflecting very much watching the video how I miss, just like I when I took my Bhikkhunī ordination in Taiwan back then, I missed being with the nuns in England that I grew up with. And even now, I do feel that their work and what we did when those of us who were Siladhara before, the work that we did together was really very foundational and continues to be. You know, foundations don't go away, but I wish that they could somehow participate in this and rejoice in how women can celebrate their training fully according to what the Buddha established. So I really felt when I was going forth in the Bhikkhunī ordination that they were with me. And now I reflect that they're still doing this, but I see what we have gained and I wish to share it with them. And someday maybe we will, but I might not live to see it. So I just want to remember them, because whatever we received, that was the root, and this is the continuation. And it is more than I ever dreamed of. When I was there in California, those 10 years ago, I remember really feeling like Ayya Nimmala's mother, kind of graduating, because I waited almost 20 years to become a bhikkhuni. And there she was doing it with the other sisters, with the other bhikkhunis, Anandabodhi and Santacitta, who had also waited many, many years, perhaps almost 20 years also, before they could get their Bhikkhunī ordination. And there she was, able to do it just as the bhikkhus. The requisite years that she needed, 2 or 3 years, and she could take this momentous step, very valuable for the fourfold Sangha. And there are so many more women that have been able to do that and will continue to. So it's a great happiness for me. I have Ayya Anuruddha here, 4 vasas, I think now. And just the flowering, it takes a lot of conscientiousness and courage and compassion for those that want to do this and are unable, and for those who aspired and are finally able, and for those who have come first and have set the way forward. I lay my life down for this and hope that I'll be able to see many more women come to this training and rejoice in the work that we can do. But the pandemic has been for us somehow, and the fire, I mean, the fires of the world don't stop. So we have to keep being brave and strong. I wish you, all of you, not just the 3 that are celebrating tonight, it's a momentous time, but for all of us to continue to extinguish those fires and realize the deathless. That is our real goal. So, thank you.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami. Thank you very much, Venerable Bikuni, Ayya Medhanandi Theri, for sharing those words of blessing and wisdom with us. And I hope that you're being well supported during the pandemic. And if anyone wants to go and be winter retreat, sit and serve in the beautiful snow of Canada at Sati Saraniya Hermitage for 3 months long this winter, then please contact Ayya Medhanandi, especially close friends of the community with great love for the Bhikkhuni Sangha and for this path of practice. So now we come to the time this evening where we want to invite those brave souls, Ayya Anandabodhi, Ayya Santacitta, and Ayya Nimmala, to share a few words and reflections with us. Those who ordained on that fateful day 10 years ago on October 17th, 2011. Welcome, Ayya Anandabodhi, and just let know Ayya Anandabodhi is now back at Aloka Vihara in the Sierra foothills of Northern California after the fire, and returned in this last week of the Vasa there together with her Bhikkhuni companions there, also Ayya Ahimsa and Ayya Niyanika there together. And Ayya Santacitta is on live with us, as you may know, from Vienna in Austria. And Ayya Nimmala is on live with us from Canada. So greetings, Ayya Anandabodhi, very nice to see you. And greetings from the heart from all your Dhamma sisters here. And welcome to share a few words and reflections with us on this important day, 10 years later. Welcome, new Theri.
Thank you so much, Ayya Tathaloka, and thank you for being our preceptor. I remember at the time you were a little bit hesitant because of our leaving one lineage to take this ordination, and after some consideration you agreed yes you would do it, and we're very, very grateful for that, and for the opportunity to live as a bhikkhuni. And very lovely to see my ordained sisters also. I don't get to see Ayya Nimmala very often, so very lovely to see, and had very similar feeling to what Ayya Medhanandi was saying on the ordination itself, of Ayya Santacitta and I having already been in the monastic life for many years, and having to sort of struggle, for a long time, and then finally getting the opportunity to take full ordination. And for Ayya Nimmala, she ordained with us, and for me it was very beautiful actually to see, this is how it's meant to be. Someone who doesn't have to, spend 17 years sort of having discussions about whether it's possible or not, but it's just the way is open. So I'm very happy that the three of us could ordain together. That's great. And thank you for all of the thank yous. Santacitta did a wonderful job of all the thank yous, and I just want to put my voice with those thank yous too. And beautiful to see old friends and sisters and supporters, and there's the roots that we come from, the old roots. So on the ordination day, we were given an icon, Ayya Santacitta, an icon of Mahapajapati. And that's every day we pay respects to that image of Mahapajapati as our lineage holder. And that feels very important to me, to have that connection all the way back to the original bhikkhunis in the Buddha's time, about the image of a Buddha and about the image of Mahapajapati. And so there's the lineage going all that way back, and then also the Siladra lineage. It's just, I really so appreciate having Thanissara here, and Ayya Medhanandi, who trained me as an anagarika years ago, and everyone who's been involved in this possibility. And I was reflecting on just how precious it is, really, always in this world, the opportunity to hear the Dhamma. And then for me, it was very, very important to be able to go forth and live as a monastic, as a renunciant. And so to find the opportunity, first of all, as a Siladra, I was very delighted actually in the beginning to have that opportunity. And then at some point one grows out of it, and there's sort of a need to be able to fully ordain, for me anyway. So to have the opportunity to live the monastic life actually at this time is very, very precious and extraordinary that it's still possible. And behind me there's two Buddhas. So there's this black Buddha. This was given to us at our ordination to Ayya Santacitta and I by the Spirit Rock community, and that was the Buddha image that was present during the ordination. And the other, you might not be able to see it very well, but leaning on that Buddha is the remnants of the Buddha that was given to us at Amaravati when we left, when Ayya Santacitta and I left to come over to the US, and that went through the Caldor fire and is now in a changed form. So, climate change is no longer questionable. It's very, very obvious. I think you'd have to really put your head under the sand to not be able to acknowledge it. And so for me, there's even more reason to, we can't anymore pretend that, everything's fine and it's all going to be lovely. And, we are in a challenging time, and the Dhamma is a very precious guide at this time, at every time, but I think especially at this time. So I'm very grateful to everyone who's made it possible for the Bhikkhunī order in the Theravada to reopen. And there are also many people who are not here who are part of that. And for all of the many threads of the roots that have led to this possibility of there being a more open access to full ordination. And just recently I was very happy to be able to be part of a Bhikkhunī ordination of 4 new Bhikkhunis at Dhammadharini, who are from different parts of who will go back to various different parts of the world. And so it is more open now, and yet the work is not over. So there's the work of keeping on opening up that path, and also the inner work, the essential inner work. So just much, much, much gratitude, and thank you for this honouring us. And also I look forward to the tea when we can chat at the end. So I'm going to pass over to Ayya Santacitta now.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami, Venerable Bikuni Anandabodhi Theri. And now we want to also welcome and invite Venerable Bikuni Ayya Santacitta Theri. Now it's getting to be a little bit more morning in Vienna, not quite so extremely early. Starting to look, I don't know, is it indoor light or outdoor light? But I'm so happy to see also the image of Mahapajapati behind you there, together with one of your important early teachers, Ajahn Buddhadasa. And I can't tell who is on the left side. Maybe you'll tell us something, but welcome, Ayya Santacitta, from your first Vasa back in your home country of Austria. And so glad we've come to this day 10 years later. Welcome to share a few words, thoughts, reflections with us.
Thank you, Tathālokā. Yeah, I'm speaking from the Vienna Vihara. I'm in Vienna since middle of July in a flat in the 21st district, and behind me is on this side of Mahapajapati Gotami, who was the foster mother of the Buddha and is known to be one of the first Bhikkhunis. And on the other side, this is Vajrayogini. She is the depiction of the feminine dynamic energy in Tibetan Buddhism, which is also very powerful. And in my practice, I'm actually working in bringing those 2 energies together. And I'm so happy, to be here today, meeting all of you and remembering also my time at Amaravati and Chithurst, which was, as Medhanandi mentioned, it's the root of what I'm kind of feeling supported from. And I'm planning to go to Amaravati for a visit in December, actually, and I've already have a time to meet Ajahn Sumedho, Ajahn Sundara, and then also I'll go to Scotland and stay for about 3 weeks with Ajahn Chandasiri. And Ajahn Sundara and Ajahn Chandasiri, together with Thanissara and Ayya were the first 4 Siladhara. And for me that was an extremely formative time. And in the early 90s, that was the only opportunity for Western women to receive inside of a nuns group, an international nuns group, and so much has happened since then, but I still feel that this foundation was very, very powerful and gave me, and I'm sure also Ayya Anandabodhi, gave us the strength and the endurance to be able to, you know, weather the different things which came up when it became clear that Bhikkhunī ordination actually is possible. And, you know, looking back, I feel that we have been really able, through that good foundation and the support of so many people, particularly in America, to make a real dent into the wall of patriarchy. And that is a great delight to me, because I know it's benefiting all sentient beings if women can go forth and can share the Buddha's teaching through the lens of a woman. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say today. And I have so much gratitude for so many people, and in particular for Ayya Tathaloka, that she was willing, you know, to step out and be our preceptor, and to Jill Boone, the founding president of the Saranaloka Foundation, and to Anandabodhi, because it wasn't always easy for Anandabodhi and me to work together under so much pressure sometimes and stress. You know, a lot of stuff came out of us which normally didn't get challenged, because everything was relatively protected. But then, you know, when we stepped out in this way, we really stepped into the storm sometimes, and I think I'm so glad now, looking back, it was a very powerful learning process, and it has it's been doing exactly, I think, what the Buddha has intended with the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni form, to really challenge us in a way which is leading onwards. And yes, I'm so grateful for that. And I hand over to Ayya Nimmala.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami.
And
Much
I
appreciation.
just want to say one more thing. I
Yes,
apologize that at about 6:30 my time, I will have to leave, because I need to catch a train to go to Switzerland. So I can't be at the tea. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I'm glad you could join us for this time. And now we want to invite Ayya Nimmala, who's with us also live from Canada, and was the third Bhikkhuni to receive full Bhikkhunī Upasampadā ordination on that day 10 years ago, on October 17th, 2011. Now 2021. Wow, 10 years later. Ayya, where are you? Are you at Sati Saraniya Hermitage, or are you at Dhammadharini Vihara in Vancouver?
I'm at Dhammadharini Vihara.
I see. Aha. Well, blessings, thinking of blessings up north in our same time zone. And welcome. Very nice to see you after a long time, and welcome to share some words, thoughts, reflections, blessings with all of us.
Thank you, Ayya Tathaloka. It's interesting, reviewing the ordination and hearing everyone else speak, and remembering it did kind of feel like a wedding that I just kind of flew into, married the Buddha and flew right back out again. And these great, amazing people did all the work to make it the most amazing, fantastic ceremony. So I just have immense gratitude to everyone involved for this this opportunity. I remember when Ayya Medhanandi and I arrived at Aloka Vihara, then in San Francisco, and I went for a walk on the beach, and somebody said, "Oh, are you going to the Bhikkhunī Ordination tomorrow?" And I said, "Well, yes, I'm one of the Bhikkhunis who's going to be ordaining." And they said, "Oh, you must be the Canadian." I realized that's kind of what I was. I was the Canadian, just kind of joining in, which was wonderful. So today has been a real day of gratitude for me, and probably most importantly to Ayya Medhanandi for taking me on as a student and training me, and just continually directing me towards the Dhamma. And just that's just been so valuable in not just these 10 years, but I started training 3 years before that with her, and just immense gratitude. And just for what you've done with Sati Saraniya Hermitage, which is just a huge undertaking in Canada, and of course for Ayya Anandabodhi, who's there being your Sariputta or Moggallana. She always calls us her Sariputta and Moggallana. And then of course for Ayya Tathaloka, who I actually met as a laywoman. I came down to visit Dhammadharini, and we went up to visit Anandabodhi before it really was an Anandabodhi, and that was just an amazing opportunity, and just to get to know you, and I would just to be so completely inspired by you and your history, her story, and your knowledge and your wisdom, and just have really appreciated that. Particularly, I think when I moved to Vancouver, I think you and I connected a lot more at that time, and you were very kind to offer to work with me on this Patimokkha booklet, this Bhikkhuni Patimokkha booklet. You invited me to join you. I really didn't, I was just editor. You were really offering, we were co-editing, but I was learning so much from you on that, and just learning to work with other bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, and to sort of from a distance stay very connected. So very much appreciating that. And of course to Ayya Anandabodhi and Ayya Santacitta, because I really did feel like I was coming in and coming into something that was something bigger than me, but you both made me feel so welcome, and like that it was a good thing to have another person to have sort of that, what you're considering the normalcy of going through, just with dealing with defilements, you can say, like just having to, go through it in a way, perhaps how people think of how the bhikkhus and the bhikkhu sangha had been able to do it for so many years. And I really felt this huge gratitude to be able to have that opportunity, and to the bhikkhus who encouraged me, because I didn't know, I just wanted to devote my life to the Buddha's teachings, and I didn't even really know or understand what form I should choose. And I remember I invited Bhante Kemaratana here tonight because he was at both my seminary and Bhikkhunī Ordination. And so he was one of the people when I said, I had met him when I was a laywoman stewarding at Thanissara, and I said, what should I do? And he was one of the bhikkhus who said, the future for women is with the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And, just encouraged me and towards that direction. So just a lot of gratitude to to them. And there's a couple of lay supporters here, both from staying up very late in Ontario, and some of my Vancouver supporters, Upasikas and Upasikas. A lot of gratitude to you for your support. I couldn't have, done this here in Vancouver without you. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So I think I'll just wrap it up with that, with just immense gratitude and joy today, and just really appreciating. Thank you so much for showing the slideshow again. It really warmed my heart. Thank you. And your commentary, Ayya Santacitta, that was very beautiful. So thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I was also thinking about the Bhikkhunī Patimokkha and the years of working on Bhikkhunī Patimokkha 3rd edition, and then now Bhikkhunī Patimokkha 4th edition together with Ayya Nimmala. That's been such a great gift. And even during this Vasa now, the copies of Bhikkhunī Patimokkha 4th edition have been being used a lot at Anandabodhi Hermitage during our Vinaya studies intensive. And I also wanted to recognize that Ayya Anandabodhi was also an essential part of the recent Bhikkhunī ordination that we had at Aranyabodhi on the September full moon. We had four new bhikkhunis and 1 new samaneri from that time. And we now have a German Bhikkhuni Sangha, and we now have a Bhikkhuni Sangha from UK. And I think Ayya Anandabodhi is one of the senior bhikkhunis of the now existing internationally UK Bhikkhuni Sangha. Ayya Brahmawara ordained as a bhikkhuni together during this time. And, just so much appreciation for the love and care and dedication, and even to go far just shortly after the fire and very shortly after being able to come back. Then Ayya Anandabodhi and Ayya Nyanika and Ayya Ahimsa then came across the state to us in the redwoods on the coast to support our Bhikkhunī ordination in September. For some of those who are here with us now, and also at Aranyabodhi Hermitage, who you might be able to see. So really, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And Ayya Santacitta has done that so many times as well now, because it hasn't just been 1 more Bhikkhunī ordination or 2 more Bhikkhunī ordinations. It is such a labor of love, and how amazing that we're able to really just to take the lid off the box, or open up the glass ceiling and offer this opportunity again more and more freely to those who aspire. I just want to take a pause now with appreciation. And we had at this time planned to have some blessings from our Bhantes at the abbess temple, American Buddhist Seminary in Sacramento, and they have also been such supporters to us and our bhikkhunis for so many years. And Bhante Shantarakshita, who was a part of the ordaining Bhikkhu Sangha 10 years ago, to just recognize, he called me earlier on today with apologies for not being able to join because of being in the hospital at UC Davis, and thinking he may be needing some surgery, and he said it wasn't possible to join on the video. And I just so much appreciate his goodwill and love and care for us on an ongoing basis. And I want to just invite everyone all together to just think of him and to send thoughts of love and blessings and appreciation to him, with the wish for his well-being. He said he's getting old now, that he's 68 years old. I had thought he was 58, but how the bodies break down over time, and how good this Dhamma is as compared to our average American culture, how good this Dhamma is for all these natural conditions. So I was thinking, we've heard from those with Saranaloka Foundation and also recognized some of those with Dhammadharini Support Foundation who are with us and also viewing from afar. And also we have several here from Spirit Rock. Thanissara is, of course, a Spirit Rock teacher, as well as she is a teacher of a number of showing up in so many forms in so many places. And also Quilly Powers is with us from Spirit Rock and such an important part of this ordination. And also we have Dawn Scott with us. Are you able to highlight Dawn? Dawn, could we invite you to say a word or two? Just wanting to recognize you being here as part of the Spirit Rock community and just to appreciate Spirit Rock so enormously, not only over this past decade, but much, much more broadly. But I just remember, Spirit Rock just really, really shone so brightly with all the great merits of coordination and all the fantastic facilities and just so much love and care from everyone who is there on that day. And I remember being at Spirit Rock together with you. And I just think of you in my heart together with the land and all of our good Dhamma friends there. And I want to invite you to share a word or two with us this evening or this morning.
This morning, this evening. I'm back east, so it's evening here. It's a real delight to be with you and to actually see that those beautiful photos and just to be reminded of that day. And everyone at Spirit Rock who was there felt the auspiciousness of that day, really did. One of my vivid memory that has stayed with me is a couple of days before the ordination, maybe I don't know how many days were between, but just the memory of Ayya Anandabodhi in the meadow with the Buddha that's behind her, the black Buddha. And she was bathing the Buddha. And I just started working at Spirit Rock like 5 months before, so I didn't quite understand what she was doing and didn't quite understand the import of the ordination. And it wasn't until I actually sat and served at Aloka Vihara some years later that it really, the impact of Venerable Santacitta, Ayya Anandabodhi, and Venerable Nimmala, what it was that you all did that day and the significance of that. And it felt so not exactly the same as the struggle for that Black people have had in this country, but very, very similar, very parallel. And I just feel blessed, and I feel like there are many of us that are blessed by your courage, by your strength, by the Dhamma that you share and that you carry. So on this 10th anniversary of your ordination, I wish that all the conditions will come together for you, for your full awakening, for your deepening in the Dhamma, and that the what you've been a part of and what you've helped to start Bhikkhunī ordinations will continue to take strong roots and flourish and grow. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for blessing.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It is good to have good Dhamma friends in this world. It is good to have good Dhamma sisters in this world. Thank you very much, Dawn. And especially you're being here now. It's late at night on the East Coast and staying up past midnight with us to join us. And I just wanted to mention something now. This is my time for a few closing words. And then we're going to have our Dhammadharini community from both Anandabodhi Hermitage and also from our Dhammadharini Monastery, offering this a Dhammadharini version of the foremost Arahant Bhikkhunis chant, just in blessings and celebration of this auspicious day. And also from the Aloka Vihara website, we'll be sharing the text in case you want to chant along together. Then you're welcome to. Please turn your mic off if you're chanting along together. And then afterwards, we will have time for tea and greetings for gathered friends and Sangha, which will just be a free time offered to everyone up to 10 p.m. Or wherever you are at the time. And I just wanted to say something in closing about the importance in Vinaya of the 10 years for bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. It's not a strict, solid requirement, but it's highly recommended, and it's the norm that bhikkhus and bhikkhunis not give papaja, or the going forth ordination, until they have 10 years, at least 10 years of seniority in monastic life. So Ayya Anandabodhi and Ayya Santacitta, being the co-founding teachers of Aloka Vihara, they have faithfully during these years invited other senior bhikkhuni teachers to serve in offering them ordination for their students and those who have come to join them at Aloka Vihara, who aspired to ordain and to more deeply enter into this monastic path and way of life. And now with this day today and their 10-year anniversary in Bhikkhuni life, then legitimately, properly, perfectly, according to the Bhikkhu-Bhikkhuni Vinaya, they now have the seniority that the Buddha recommended for serving as a teacher and as an ordaining teacher in such a way. So I just want to really acknowledge that as their preceptor, that they now have all authorization and blessings to be able to now give the ordination to their own students. Normally we are training as seminaries for about 2 years before Bhikkhunī ordination, and in another 2 years, then also they would have the 12 years seniority, even if the Sangha wished to be able to appoint them as full ordination Bhikkhuni preceptors as well. So it is awesome and wonderful and excellent that we come to this juncture now. And I just want to offer my own personal blessings and the blessings of all of our Dhammadharini community here at Dhammadharini Monastery and Anandabodhi Hermitage and around the world in this transition at this time. And our community will now offer this chant that Aloka Vihara itself with popularized at the time of their ordination, which is based on the as Ayya Santacitta said earlier, the Anguttara Nikaya, the Book of Ones amongst those who were the foremost leading disciples of the Buddha, the bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, and also upasakas and upasikas, who the Buddha himself commended as being truly excellent and outstanding and worthy of remembering for their luminary qualities and their leadership, their co-leadership in the Sangha. So the Pali text passes down this list of 10 plus the 2 foremost leading bhikkhunis, Upalawana of foremost in spiritual power and Kema foremost in wisdom, and then Mahapajapati as the at the top. If you imagine 10 and then 2 leaders and then 1 more on top, then you get 13, which apparently was a powerful and important number in ancient times and still. So now our Dhammadharini community will be offering our version from Anandabodhi Hermitage and Dhammadharini Monastery of the foremost Arahant Bhikkhunis chant. And the text will hopefully be on the screen together for everyone who would like to join in chanting this together and just evoking or invoking, inviting this lineage of the ancient Bhikkhunis, which has been resurrected and is re-emerging and coming to life again in our contemporary times more and more fully. Not only do we have Bhikkhunis, but we have Bhikkhunī Theri's, 3 more emerging in the world today. And I trust also that the conditions are emerging in our world for us to once again also see Bhikkhuni Arahantas emerging. That would be an awesome, truly awesome and excellent thing. So chanting the names and the excellent qualities of these ancient leading Bhikkhuni Arahantas or Arahantis. Is it possible to see the English also or no? No worries, we'll see the Pali and go to the Aloka Vihara website if you would like to see the English. Yes, welcome. So now we'll offer this chant and everyone's invited to join together. Ratanyunam Bhikkhuninam Gotame Jinamatucha Kapita Agarthanam Hi Sada Soting Karotuno Mahapanyam Agata Kemateri Dipaka Savika Buddha Seta Sasada Sotin Karotuno Yari Opalawana Chakiti Manti Namotama Buddha Seta Sada Sotin Karotuno Vinaya Namaga Pakatacharati Visuddha Tapita Agatanam Sada Sotin Karotuno Hamma Katikanam Pawara Dhamma Dinamika Tapita Agatanam Di Sada Sotin Karotuno Jaikanam Bhikkhuninam Nanda Theri Namasa Agatanatita Ahusada Sotin Karotuno Aratha Viriyanam Maga Sona Theri Vinamika Tapita Tatathanam Hi Sada Sotin Karotuno Dibhaktaku Kamaga Sakula Iti Visuddha Visuddhanayana Sapisada Sotin Karotuno Kundala Kesi Bhikkhuni Kipavinya Namotama
Kapitaye Vatanamhi Sada Soting Karotuno Theri Bada Kapilani Purvajati Namanusari Tasangye Bhikkhuninam Sada Soting Karotuno Theritu Bhata Kachana Mahabinyana Motama Jinena Sukha Dukkhang Sa Sada Soting Karotuno Lut Kachivadarinam Agatisati Gotami Tapita Agatanam Visada Soti Karotuno Vihalamata Bhikkhunī Sadhati Muttanam Manutama Karotuno Mahasanting Arogyanta Sukhang Sada Anya Bhikkhunīyo Savanana Gunadhara Bahu Palentuno Sapapaya Sokarokadi Sambhava Sotapanna Tayo Sekha Sadha Panya Siladika Bhakaso Kilesa Dahana Sada Soting Karotuno
Sadhu, 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 anumodami. I just want to appreciate our Venerable Bikuni Sopanateri, who's the one who put the images together with our chanting for this offering. And to thank everyone who's here, who's joined in together, and who's been a part of this great journey leading up to 10 years ago and during these past 10 years, and now all of us together now. And what do the next 10 years bring? I feel like really how much the Dhamma is needed for ourselves personally to be with the great challenges of this time, and also to be able to share with others. I feel like the need for the Dhamma has never been greater, and I'm so glad for all those who really can benefit from the Dhamma and the presence and the practice of the Bhikkhunis, that we have Bhikkhunis, the gift of Bhikkhunis to offer to our world. So as much anumodana to everybody who is a part of that great gift being present. And now pausing, now we have time that we would like to offer to everyone who wishes to be a part of tea and greetings together. So we invite everyone now. You're welcome to turn your mic on and join and share. Still with us? Everyone who's here together with us. So, do you have your computer there? Welcome.
May I start? This is Ayya Palaniani from Germany. If there is the occasion, I would say a few words. Oh, now I don't hear you anymore, Ayya Tathaloka. But
Welcome, Very nice to see you.
to you. Yes, it's such a blessing to be here. Thank you for inviting. And I joined the meeting from the beginning, and I remember Ayya Sudama saying in her video that for her this was maybe the most significant and most precious or beautiful day in her life. And I, of course, have to admit that for me, my own ordination as a bhikkhuni was the most beautiful day in my life for me. But I can certainly relate to what Ayya Sudama said and feel very much that this there at Spirit Rock was so wonderful, auspicious, great, and precious. And I had the opportunity to receive the Bhikkhunī ordination when Ayya Anandabodhi and Ayya Santacitta were present at Aranyabodhi Hermitage in 2010. And then I had to come back to America for training with Ayya T and had the chance to join into that event. I didn't know it was happening. So I just stumbled upon it or was taken along, so to say. So, and I met for the first time now Nimmalā Bhikkhunī, and so many people I didn't know at that time. And it was just, well, often said, and to me also, it was overwhelmingly beautiful. And since then, so much has happened. And since then, I had the chance to train some students and to send them over to America and have them ordained by Ayya Tathaloka. And I couldn't be there with them, but I assume, or I hope it was such a great event, or I saw it on video, that it was also a great event. And I think, however it is, how small or big, every Bhikkhunī ordination that happens somewhere in the world is a great event, because it is just multiplying us, you know. I mean, when in the early days of the modern Bhikkhuni Sangha, they were so few and they had so much to fight, and it was so difficult for them. And when I came to Aranyabodhi Hermitage, there was nothing. I mean, there was a trailer here and there and a cabin here and there, but in general, for Bhikkhunis, there was nothing in America or in the world. And within this 10 years or 11 years, has happened so much all over the world, and it has become so much easier. And even when I was in Thailand in the beginning, not yet a bhikkhuni, it was impossible to think to become a bhikkhuni. And I spoke with my teacher about wanting to be a bhikkhuni, and he laughed at me in a very beautiful manner, in a way that he was acknowledging that I wanted it and that I kind of needed it, but he laughed. He didn't know how to react otherwise. And just 2 years later, it was possible. It became possible. And he again laughed, and he sent me a letter that I could go and that I could come back even as a bhikkhuni. So it was so much and so quickly that things happened. And now we have, even, I don't know, we have Aranya, we have Anandabodhi Vihara, we have Siri Sampano, we have Bhikkhunis, Sila Varini Center, and we are so many bhikkhunis now in Germany, so it feels like we're almost more than bhikkhus, at least Theravada. We are really having a Sangha now in Germany, and that's so great. And that's, of course, thanks to my Pavatini and most of the Bhikkhunis Pavatini, Ayya Tathaloka, and the other Therīs that are there that helped us to become who we are, the Bhikkhuni teachers that we are now, and the mothers to our children that we have become. And yeah, I'm teary the whole morning, and before I start sobbing, I stop. Thank you.
I'm not sure, am I muted now? Or? No?
No, you are on.
Okay, all right. And I just want to acknowledge, I was just thinking, yes, Anandabodhi was just land. And then a couple of flood damaged free trailers. And then, to appreciate Ayya Sopana here also for her amazing, awesome contributions to Kutis coming into being, and so much care for the community and traveling far and wide to serve in support of the Bhikkhunī ordinations. And now Ayya Palanyani also, that was 11 years ago at Anandabodhi that we had the first dual Theravada Sangha Bhikkhuni ordination in North America. And Ayya Palanyani is now, as a Theri, then giving the seminary Pabaja also to her own students. And then them, maybe you can see at Anandabodhi, I don't know if Anandabodhi can be spotlighted or not, but her student then, Venerable Bikuni Anuvidita, who was just fully ordained here in September. The satellite Wi-Fi is not strong there, but with hands and Anjali smiling and waving, that's Venerable Bikuni Anuvidita, who in fact will be flying back to Germany on the 23rd to rejoin Ayya Palanyani, her teacher at Anandabodhi Vihara, and returning then to the presence of there being now a Bhikkhuni Sangha in Germany. So celebrating and rejoicing in that. Thank you for spotlighting Anandabodhi. Others who may like to share, welcome. Would you like to unmute everyone so they can have a chance? Anyone, you're welcome to go ahead.
I was going to say thank you, Ayya Palanyani. I don't know if you remember, you lent me your sitting cloth for the ordination, or a sitting cloth, because Ayya Medhanandi and I were wearing brown robes at that time, and we were told just shortly before the ordination that we were encouraged to wear, we were wearing dark brown. We were encouraged to wear.
Would you like to say something?
This color, and so thank you for lending that to me.
Most welcome.
So anyone who is here who would like to say something, then you're invited and welcome to. Also at Anandabodhi Hermitage, you're welcome to say something if you would like. Welcome to share. And anyone else who's joining us now, this is your time.
I would like to say something.
Please, Susan, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. This just seems almost like a dream I'm having. It was, this whole the video is so beautiful. And that day is the day I was talking with Debbie Stamp this afternoon about that day at Spirit Rock and how just remarkable it was. And I remember being at Spirit Rock, it was maybe the late 80s or 90 when Thanissara, when you came with Ajahn Sumedho and Ajahn Amro, and Spirit Rock was really just a rock with a tent and a gigantic mud puddle for this retreat. And a year later, coming back for the retreat, and Spirit Rock was growing, and being able to go to England and meet Anandabodhi and Santacitta when they were in white. And Medhanandi was living there, and then you coming to the States with, and you're bringing your dad. I've been sort of away, but not really far from the community, and just to see. I remember in the very early days at Ahmedabad, like the idea that nuns would have full ordination, like there was no idea of that. There was like, and that was not. And over time, to watch like those kind of conversations start, and to be at this point where, you know, thinking tonight about so many women that this is a door that's open now, and you just, you know, it's not that you just walk through it, but there's a path, you can go on the path, and that there was sort of a dead end in some ways. And it's so beautiful to see that this has come in these 10 years, and on all of, you know, the work that happened for this to happen. I feel so grateful to be able to just be a witness to this again. And just a lot of gratitude. It's really kind of remarkable.
Thank you, Susan. Lovely, lovely to hear from you and to see you. Yeah.
Had some adventures.
Yep. Over the many years. Yeah, and I also just wanted to say thank you, Dawn. I was very touched by what you shared. It just really went straight to my heart, and was like, oh, yeah. And it's very beautiful to see you also like a rising star now. You're really just shining in the Dhamma. It's beautiful what you're sharing. A Dhamma, not a star in a movie sense, but a star in a guiding light sense. It's very beautiful.
Ayya Medhanandi, it's so nice to see you, as everyone, and I so much appreciated you also mentioning the Siddhadhara, that there's so many, as you were just saying, so many stories, Susan and Ayya Anandabodhi. I hope some of them can get recorded and not become part of the invisibility of the lineage, but actually can fill in the jigsaw puzzle pieces to get a bigger picture. It would be really nice to consciously think about how there might be some wonderful people that might appear to help capture the enormity of the history, actually, or her story, as someone said in the sharing. I think it would be really valuable for those generations coming after to know of some of the depths of the struggle and some of how things can be overcome and built, and what enabled that. How was that? You know, this is a very unique piece of history that really we shouldn't all die without capturing some of the fullness of it. And of course, as you say, Ayya Anandabodhi, we've actually got the bigger story going on of whether we'll even survive as a species. But, you know, in the most hopeful outcome, there will be, and stories will still continue to be told. And surely this must be one of the ones that must have a full telling.
Yeah.
This is Ayya Palaniani again. I just saw that it's 7 o'clock in the morning and I have to go to breakfast now. So I wish you a good night, actually, and many blessings, and no more fires, or if fires of wisdom that burn away all defilements. So all the best to everyone.
And to the whole community, the whole monastic community at Aloka Vihara in the Bavarian Alps in Germany. And we look forward to seeing even more bhikkhunis there, as there are a good number of seminaries. You're full up with seminaries there right now. So
there will be more bhikkhunis.
Yeah. I'm glad you could be with us, and blessings on this day and on this decade. I wanted to introduce here also next to me, then we have Venerable Bikuni Sarani, the founder of the Sirisampano cloister, also in Germany, who's just received full Bhikkhunī ordination with the support of our senior Bhikkhuni, Ayya Suchinta, who was also at Amravati as an Anagarika long ago, and then also with Ayya Kema at the Nuns Island in Sri Lanka, and then with Bhanteji at the Bhavana Society, where she received seminary Pabhaja, and now has become a very senior Bhikkhuni, having ordained in the Great Bhikkhunī Ordination in 1998 in Bodh Gaya. She was the only Westerner who participated in that time of the revival of the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha. And I just want to mention also today, on this very day, this year, 2021, October 17th, the first Indian Bhikkhuni training center has been inaugurated. And two of the senior Bhikkhunis who are Mahātheris now, who are ordained in Bodh Gaya in 1998, together with Ayya Suchinta, they were there for that inauguration. So that's happened today, not 10 years ago, not 20 years ago, but today. So I'm just so delighted about that, rejoicing in this together. So I was trying to get other members of our monastic community here at the monastery to come sit with me so that you could see them together, but it's hard to get them to move here. Or maybe they can stand up for just a moment to come here and can you just come to greet for just a moment so you can see who's here? It looks like it's just a few of us, but here the more and more are gathering here together. Can you a little further in? Yes, there you go. So there are more of us here. Blessings from all of us, as well as all those who are at Anandabodhi, and giving this time to you again. I just wanted to share these blessed beings here with you. And this one is our tech support. So blessings from everyone to everyone. Thank you for coming here for a moment. So we're coming near to the end of our time. And so I want to invite anyone who has something in their heart that they feel like they would like to share now in these last minutes together. Can you unmute? Ayya Santacitta has put a heart up. You see her heart? Everyone should have received an invitation to unmute. So if you would like to, you're welcome to accept that invitation.
Just want to say thank you for making this happen and for bringing us all together. And across it's like across many times. So there are the like for me from my monastic world, my elders of Thanissara and Ayya Medhanandi and then people like Susan, a good friend from many years ago, and Dhamma friends who've been part of our life here since we've been in the US, Sometimes behind the scenes, Kathy Wickham, we've been helping us behind the scenes in different ways. Hi. And, also people who are looking into the possibility of monastic life, who are seeing like, oh, this is what it is, and it's opening up. So all of those many different, just to thank you for bringing all of these different people together, and for your part in opening up the way. In fact, everybody's part in it. I think everybody is very much a collective process. It's many, many hands, many different ways of opening up this path, and then together, all of us together are making it happen. Both as a life practice and as an inner transformation. And so I don't know, it's just lovely for me to see all of these different people together and to be part of this. And it's lovely on a kind of relational level, and then also just sort of on a deeper level of, we're all inspired to wake up, and that's profound in this crazy world. So just it's very, very grateful.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It takes a Sangha, yes, from Susan, I agree. So I'd like to invite everyone who is just with me again to gather near and to join in sharing blessings together. And this is a special blessing, words of the Buddha that are appreciating the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also, I just want to say we're in the last days of the Vasa. This ends this coming full moon, which is very soon. And it seems like here in Northern California, with the completion of the Vasa, the winter rains will be beginning. And also then our this year 6-month-long fire season. I've never known it to be so long here before. Will be coming to an end with the rains. That will be a great relief. And for the fires in our hearts, the coming of the Dhammamekha is an old word for the Sangha gathering, and the Dhamma rain, raining down on the medicinal herbs, all of the medicines of the Dhamma, then growing and being nourished and arising in our hearts and being able to be shared as medicine, not only for ourselves, but for healing balm for the world. So we will be having our Katina soon on October 31st, Halloween. You're welcome to join in with our community online or in person. And Aloka Vihara also will be having their Katina season robe offering, almsgiving, coming up on October 30th as well. I think also online. So welcome to join if you feel like you'd like to have more time with our Bhikkhunī Sangha. And I'd like to invite everyone here who's here present with me to share in these blessings. This beautiful 4-line verse from the Buddha. Our tech support is going to help make this happen somehow. Just let me know what to do. I switched to that microphone. Okay. So the Pali, and then also we'll chant the English as well. So especially to our new Therīs and to all the blessed and supportive causes and conditions that have made this possible and will continue to make this gift possible as a living gift of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha in our world. Living gift of the path. Sukho Buddhanam Upato Sukha Santam Desana Sukho Sankasa Samaki Samakanam Tapo Sukho. Happy is the arising of the Buddha. Happy is the teaching of the true Dhamma.
Happy is the Sangha in harmony, the harmonious ones striving is happy. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Sati, sati, sati.
Good night to those that are on your Bodhi. We will be coming back to you soon. Driving under the moonlight on the coast road. Good night, Vida. Good night, Kelly. Good night, Ayya Nimmala. Good night, Ayya Santacitta. Good night, Elizabeth. Good night, Susan. Good night, Ayya Anandabodhi. Good night, Vita. Kathy, Dawn.
Like the Waltons, isn't it?
Thank you for a lovely, 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 lovely celebration.
Thank you. Thank you for being there, Vita, being here.
Thank you, Thanissara. Good night, Ayya Medhanandi. Good night, Ayya Anuruddha, or good morning now in Canada.
Morning.
East side.
Sweet dreams and good morning.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you, Anuruddha. It's been a long time. Oh.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh,
very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sending us Ayya Anuruddha.
Oh yes, yeah. It's hard actually. It's such a gem. But I'm happy for you. Muditā. Yes.
I also want to say hi to Thanissara. It's so great to see you. And hi, Susan Barber, after so many years.
So many years. Oh my goodness. Yes. And also like a minute. This was like a trip down memory lane, like memories I haven't had in such a long time.
I know. I have the barbecue. I just all these things.
Making all that food. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was so crazy.
Yeah.
All of that time. I mean, it was just such a remarkable time. And it was like really the foundation for so much of what is actually happening here tonight in this room. Yeah. And if somebody had said that then, everybody would have said, you're out of your mind. That's like, this could never happen. This is just not, it's not even a thought we can have, right? We don't even think this.
True, it's true.
It's right. And now this is really remarkable. And that there's bhikkhunis like around they're like infiltrating the world. Yeah, well done, ladies. Well done. Yeah. I mean, that it was so amazing, really, 10 years ago to be at Spirit Rock for that event. It's just, and there was a very elderly nun who was sitting on a bench and she handed me her bowl. Do you remember that?
Tree.
Yeah, she handed me her bowl. And so I carried her bowl for her and she put her arm up through my arm and then I walked in the middle of all of the monks. And I was like,
very you, very you.
Exactly my whole life right there in that moment. I was like, what am I doing here? And I thought, it doesn't matter. This is amazing. She was so sweet though. Yeah. Gosh. We were talking today, Deb and I, about the lasagna that started all of the meal offering I made at Mark Lieberman's house when Ajahn Sumedho invited me to join the board. And then
it was all started by lasagna.
It was like it was the lasagna.
The untold story.
That's how it really happened. That monastery got founded. It was the lasagna. Yeah, it was just a magical time. That whole time, Stephen Levine was happening, and just all of that was a remarkable time. So anyway, I'm going to bid you all adieu.
All right.
Okay.
Lovely to see you. Bye.
Really wonderful to see
you.
Until we meet again for the 20th anniversary.